This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Sunday. I'm Scott Seidenberg with you on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. You can hit me up on Twitter at Scott's On Air. Hit us all up on the network at VSiN Live. Tracking the action right now in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Game number 3 from Indy. Pacers having a 2-0 series lead. And right now with 6 minutes to go in the first half, Pacers lead 42-37 over the Knicks. Your live markets have the Pacers a -3.5 favorite. They closed at the time of tip at -1.5, so now they are -3.5 on the live line. Total closed at 223.5. It is now down to 219.5 as both of these teams have struggled shooting from three-point range. The Knicks 3 of 13 from beyond the arc. The Pacers 2 of 10. We're going to monitor the rest of this first half and then assess whether there are second half bets to be made between the Knicks and the Pacers. Meanwhile, Sunday Night Baseball at Citi Field in Queens. It is the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs. The Mets have a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers. Kodai Senga got the start for the Mets. He went 5 1/3 innings, only allowing 1 run on a Shohei Ohtani solo home run on the second pitch of the ball game. That's right. Second pitch of the ball game was a Shohei Ohtani solo home run, no doubt moonshot second decker that gave the Dodgers an early 1-0 lead. Then, after Mookie Betts got on base with a single, or I believe he reached on error, it was an error by Mark Vientos, the third baseman, Freddie Freeman doubled. And all of a sudden, the Dodgers had second and third with nobody out and already a 1-0 lead. Well, then the next batter, I think it was Will Smith, flies out to center field. And Tyrone Taylor makes the throw to the plate. Mookie Betts, tagging from third, gets called safe at home. The Mets challenged the call, and upon review, it was determined that it was a good throw and tag, and Mookie Betts was thrown out at home. So, the run doesn't count. The Kodai Senga gets out of the inning, and the 1-0 lead for the Dodgers turned into a 2-1 deficit after Pete Alonso homered in the bottom of the first inning off of Landon Knack, and then the Mets added a third run later on. So 3-1, Mets lead the Dodgers right now, bottom of the 6th inning for Landon Knack, who is still in the game for the Dodgers. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, and 2 of them came on that home run. Interesting situation here in this Knicks-Pacers game. I mentioned it was 42-37. Well, there was a challenge on a Karl Anthony Towns dunk that was reviewed and determined to be an offensive foul on Karl Anthony Towns. So instead of it being a good dunk and the Knicks trailing 42-37, instead it was a reversal of a call, determined an offensive foul. Then Aaron Nesmith makes a shot. Then Bridges misses a 3. And then Obi Toppin makes a shot. And just like that, the Pacers are up 46-35. That's how quickly the game changes. And whether whether you like replay or not, the challenge was made and the call was overturned as that is now a 46-35 lead for the Pacers. And now the live line is Pacers -7.5, and the total keeps going down. So with the lack of shooting here, or the lack of making shots, if you will, 215.5 is your live total. And we got 4 minutes, a little under 5 minutes left to go here in this first half. But I hope this number stays low because I might be interested in the second half over. I can't imagine both these teams shoot this poorly in the second half. Yeah, I mean, defense is defense, but the Knicks are 3 of 16 from three-point range, and the Pacers are 2 of 10 from three-point range. And for the Knicks, it's like their misses are coming from just like unfamiliar sources, right? Deuce McBride, who's a three-point specialist, has played 1 minute in this game. Josh Hart's played 12 minutes off the bench, and in case you're just tuning in, he didn't start for the Knicks. That was the switch that Tom Thibodeau made prior to this game, going with Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup. But Josh Hart, 0 of 2 from three-point range. Landry Shamet is playing in this game. He's played 5 minutes, and he has 1 of 2 from three-point range. DeLon Wright has played 8 minutes in this game for the Knicks, and he is He hasn't taken a shot yet. Mikal Bridges, 0 of 4 from three-point range. Anunoby hit his first three and has missed his next two. Karl Anthony Towns is 0 of 2. And Jalen Brunson, 1 of 3 from three-point range. For the Pacers, meanwhile, Miles Turner, 1 of 2. And Ben Shepherd hit his only three-pointer that he took in the first quarter. Other than that, Nesmith, 0 of 2. Nembhard, 0 of 1. Halliburton, 0 of 2. McConnell, 0 of 1. Toppin has even taken one. He's 0 of 1. Just a bad shooting night for both of these teams as Pacers up big now, 48-35. And yeah, the missed shots just keep for both of these teams. But the Pacers getting it done when it comes to the mid-range and the points in the paint. Pacers have 20 points in the paint. They are shooting 53% from the field. So think about that. I want to actually break down these numbers a little bit. So the Pacers are 2 of 10 from three-point range. The Pacers from two-point range. So from inside the arc, the Pacers are 16 of 23. 16 of 23. The Pacers are from two. They're shooting 54.5% from the game, but they're 16 of, if you take out the three-point shooting, that's how they're shooting even better. It's unbelievable. That's like, what, 80%? Like, this is an incredible number. Man, what a way to go out for the Knicks, too. Just like another missed three now, 3 of 17 from the field. The Knicks are shooting 32% from the field, but just 17% from three-point range, 3 of 17. We got 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Pacers are up 20 points right now. We're going to keep an eye on what the market is for the second half and see if there's a play to be made. But this is a celebration right now in Indianapolis. I can't imagine. The Knicks aren't coming back. I could be wrong, and heck, we've certainly seen games where 20-point leads are blown all the time. But this is a sad state of events right now for the New York Knicks. And for Tom Thibodeau, I honestly have a serious question. This isn't like hyperbole or anything like that. Is this the last game he coaches for the New York Knicks? And you could say, but the guy got you to the Eastern Conference Finals. Really? This is ugly. And there's been a lot of ugly basketball for the Knicks. And let's be honest, they don't exactly belong here in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics blew 2 20-point leads in games 1 and 2 of that series. The Celtics played as bad basketball as you could play, missing 45 three-pointers in that game 1. Then, they continue to struggle. The Knicks got up and had big comebacks, right? Huge comebacks. Tatum goes down, the Knicks lose that game, and then the next game, and then the Knicks win game 6. Now, if Tatum's healthy, because the Knicks were going to win that game anyway, game number 4, when Tatum got hurt. The Knicks were already winning that game. But then the Celtics win game number 5. If Tatum's healthy in game 6, what if the Knicks win? What if the Celtics probably win that game? And then the Celtics probably win the series in 7. So now the Knicks show up here against the Pacers. They blow a historic loss in game number 1. Historic loss. Literally, like one of the only times in history a team has lost under those situations, with the lead as much as they had the lead, as late as they had it. And then in game 2, at home, you have a 7-point lead, not as big as the other one, not as late as the other one, and then you blow that lead and you lose, and you're non-competitive late, and then you show up here with your season on the line. You score 37 points in the first half. You're messing around with your starting lineups, and your team is an absolute no-show. You're putting guys in the game. DeLon Wright playing 8 minutes. We haven't seen this guy doesn't play. Landry Shamet's playing 5 minutes. This is bad. This is real bad. We'll see what happens over the rest of this game, but I have no confidence in placing any bet on the Knicks right now. Plus 14.5, I don't want any piece of it. And yeah, listen, we've seen the crazy things happen. We've seen the 20-plus point comebacks. If the Knicks come back and win this game, and you can get that at plus 850 right now, but if the Knicks come back and win this game, would I be shocked? Well, I'd be surprised but not shocked. Does that make sense? I'd be surprised because the Knicks have a pathetic effort in this game. So I'd be surprised if they pulled it together and had a really good second half and came back and won the game. So yeah, that would surprise me. Would I be shocked? Absolutely not. Because, as I mentioned, we've seen these teams blow these leads all the time here in these playoffs. Multiple games, multiple teams blowing big leads. So yes, it would surprise me because of just how bad they've played, but it wouldn't shock me because we've seen all of these leads getting blown here in the NBA playoffs. Can't see it happening, though, tonight from the Indiana Pacers. Hey, you want to know where the money is really going? Unlike other sources, our betting splits come straight from Circa and DraftKings Sportsbooks, giving you the insight into where the sharp action is landing. Circa is known for taking big bets from professional bettors, while DraftKings provides a broader market perspective. That means you're getting the real action, not just the public money, but the kind of wagers that move lines. See the percentage of bets versus percentage of handle on every game across every major sport, helping you make smarter, more informed bets. Get VSiN's exclusive betting splits for as little as $9.99 for your first month at vsin.com/subscribe. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
We are at the half, and it is all Pacers, 58-45 over the Knicks, as Indy looks to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. Your live line right now at the half, Pacers minus 10.5, your live total of 212.5. And let's see, your second half numbers here. Knicks are minus 2.5 for the second half. Your second half total is at 109.5. And I would like the over in the second half just because of how badly both of these teams shot in the first half. The Knicks were 5 of 19 from three-point range. The Pacers 3 of 13 from three-point range. Now, while I do not expect the Knicks to come back and win this game, as I mentioned last segment, two different reactions. Would I be surprised? Would I be shocked? Would I be surprised if the Knicks came back and won this game? Absolutely. Because they've been pathetic in this game tonight. Would I be shocked? No, because we've seen these teams blow these leads all the time. So if I told you the Pacers blew a 20-point lead, you would say, par for the course. We've seen teams blow 20-point leads here in the playoffs. So if you want to take a shot on the Knicks to come back and win, you can get plus 470 right now. You could have had plus 850 a little while ago here. But this is something that's amazing. So right now, the Pacers are shooting 51.3% from the field. They're 20 of 39. However, they're 3 of 13 from the three-point line. So that means they're 17 of 36 from 2. That's 65% they're shooting from the field. They're shooting 65% from everywhere except for three-point range. Knicks, meanwhile, are shooting 38% from the field. They're 5 of 19 from 3. Your stat lines right now, leading the way for the Knicks with 11 points is Jalen Brunson, who it felt like he had 11 points in the first quarter, and that's it. Well, the Knicks only scored 19 in the second quarter, but Brunson, 11 points on 1 of 4 shooting, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. OG Anunoby's got 10 points. He's made 2 threes in this game. Then Karl Anthony Towns has 4 points only. Mitchell Robinson's got 6. Mikal Bridges has 7. Josh Hart has 4 off the bench. Landry Shamet's got 3. DeLon Wright's played 8 minutes in this game for some reason. Shamet's played 7 minutes for some reason. Deuce McBride only played 1 minute in that first half. I have no idea why. Deuce McBride is a guy who, for the Knicks, is athletic enough to keep pace with some of these Pacers players defensively. He played 25 minutes in game number 1, 25 minutes in game number 2, and he only scored 9 points in game number 1, 5 points in game number 2, and let's see, 1 of 3 from three-point range, 1 of 4 from three-point range in games 1 and game 2. But in game number 2, McBride was a +6 on the floor. So the Knicks lose 114 to 109. Deuce McBride's a +6 in game number 2. In game number 1, Deuce McBride a +12. Knicks lose in overtime 138 to 135. So in this series, Deuce McBride is a +18. That means, for those of you who don't understand plus minus, that when he's on the floor, the Knicks have outscored the Pacers by 18 points. Yet Tom Thibodeau has played Deuce McBride for 1 minute in that entire first half. Okay. Sure. Interesting stuff there, Tibbs. Interesting stuff. For the Pacers, taking a look at their box score right now, they are led by 10 points from T.J. McConnell, who had 10 points early on. And the starting lineup is really spread out. 9 points for Tyrese Halliburton, 9 for Miles Turner, 8 for Andrew Nembhard, 5 for Aaron Nesmith, 4 for Pascal Siakam. And then off the bench, I mentioned T.J. McConnell with the 10 points, but 6 for Obi Toppin, 2 for Tony Bradley, who's played 10 minutes, 2 for Benedict Mathurin, and 1 3-pointer made by Ben Shepherd. And diving even further inside the box score, the Pacers, 14 fast break points to 0 for the Knicks. That's the difference in the game. 14 fast break points for the Pacers. They've led by as many as 20. They got a 13-point lead now at the half. And your live number, once again, Pacers minus 10.5. Live total of 214.5, as we've seen that total get bet up. So it looks like people are betting the second half to go over. And in fact, yeah, you could have gotten it at 109.5. It is now 111.5. So the money has come in on the second half to go over, as that number was at 109.5. It is now at 111.5. So losing 2 points of value there on betting if you wanted to take the second half to go over. And I just think naturally that's like what has to happen. Because of just how poorly both these teams have shot, you would think the Knicks turn it around and shoot better here in the second half. I'll tell you something I was taking a look at. And let's look at some live player props. Now, I'm trying to see, like here in Vegas, some of the books are just so limited. There's not a lot of options, especially live betting, like these player props and stuff, because they're smart. They protect themselves against getting burned and whatnot. But I was looking at some live player props here, and I'm curious. If this winds up being a blowout like it was last night, do the role players get involved more? Like, do the bench players start scoring? So let's take a look up on DraftKings and see what you have for live player points. For the bench, let's say Obi Toppin has 6 points already. His live number's 8.5. I'd go over Obi Toppin live points. For, let's see, Aaron Nesmith is at 10.5. He's got 5. That's not exactly a bench player. T.J. McConnell's got 10 points already. His total's 14.5. Yeah, T.J. McConnell's going over. If this game's a blowout, McConnell's playing more minutes. And he's going to score 5 more points in this game. For the Knicks, Josh Hart, he's got 4 points. His number's 8.5. I don't consider that to be a bench player, even though he's started out on the bench here in this one. But he's, for him to score 5 points in the second half, I think that's possible. All it takes is 1 3-pointer from him, and he's going to get that. Let's see. Do we see, does Nesmith make a couple of threes here? Aaron Nesmith in the first half was, what was he, from 3-point range? 0 of 2 from three-point range. Do we go over 1.5 threes for Aaron Nesmith? I don't hate it. For the Knicks, who's got three-pointers for the Knicks here? Bridges has 1 three-pointer. Do we go over 2.5 for Bridges? Does he hit 2 threes in the second half? I don't know if he takes 2 threes in the second half. Well, he's 1 of 5 already. The Knicks are going to have to start chucking these up at some point. Problem is that some of these books don't offer. Like I said, they limit what they offer here. But I would take a look. Probably my best bet, honestly, would be the over in the second half. I think we're going to get scoring. The problem that I see though is that you lost 2 points of value here on it, because at 109.5 it was most certainly an over for me. But sitting here and seeing it go up to what was I at now? Now 111.5. You're losing 2 points. Not sure if I would still make it. I like it at over 109.5. Knicks scored 19 points in that second quarter. And even last night, which was a blowout, I was kind of worried that when we got to the fourth quarter, it would be a lower scoring fourth quarter because the backups were all coming in. And it started out that way, but then it didn't end up that way. It wound up being a, 66, 67 point fourth quarter? So that game still went over, which was wild. Your second half, live number right now is, for this game, 10.5 and 214.5. So 214.5. I think I would, even at a bad number, let's say of 111.5, I'd probably go over it. It just makes sense, right? Like, these teams can't shoot this poorly. They just can't. I mean, these are bad numbers from both of these teams. I got to imagine the shooting gets better. Once again, from three-point range, 3 of 13 for the Pacers, 5 of 19 from the Knicks. Knicks are shooting 38% from the field. I got to imagine the scoring picks up. I'm going to go ahead. I hate doing this because I should have told you to play it at 109.5, but if all you can get is the 111.5, I still think we go over. I think the scoring does pick up here in this second half. Hey, I want to tell you guys about First Bet. You can take your betting to the next level with First Bet, whether it's Santa Anita, Gulfstream Park, or Saratoga. First Bet puts the action at your fingertips, and you can sign up at firstbet.com. That's the number one, stbet.com. Use promo code VSIN200. Score a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days up to $200. Don't miss out. Bet smarter today at firstbet.com. Second half will get underway shortly there from Indy. Plus, we got to update you on what's going on Sunday Night Baseball and take a look at what's coming up on tomorrow's schedule, Memorial Day. Lots of day baseball and the Stanley Cup playoffs resuming as well. I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Sunday. I'm Scott Seidenberg here with you on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network. I did go ahead and play the second half to go over. So depending on which book you looked at, what number you got, I did go over a 110.5, so I was able to split the difference between the really good line of the 109.5 and also the expanded line that I saw DraftKings post at 111.5. I was able to get the 110.5, so I did go over, which is available right now still. You can get over 110.5 up on DK and some other books as well. I did go over in the second half. I just expect the shooting to come back around. I just can't imagine that both of these teams can't hit a three here in the second half. Knicks 5 of 19, so they did hit a couple late in the first half, but Pacers 3 of 13. Pacers with a 13-point lead to start this second half. They are 10.5-point favorites for the game. Your live total at 213.5. This closed at 223.5, and the Pacers minus 1.5. Sunday Night Baseball heads to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Mets holding on to a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers. So the under looking good, and the Mets holding on to this lead. They are 3 outs away from a victory, and that will come in the 9th inning, and we'll see who gets the 9th inning, because I don't think Edwin Diaz is going to pitch in this game. Not sure if he is going to be available because Diaz pitched, let's see, I think he pitched last night and the night before. So let me look at the usage here for Edwin Diaz, who pitched in both of these games against the Dodgers. So this would be a third night in a row. And I don't know if they've used him 3 games in a row yet this season. Let's see. They used him on a Saturday, Sunday. Nope, that's 2 in a row. A Wednesday, Thursday, 2 in a row. Nope. Saturday. Oh, nope. Sunday, Monday. Nope. Saturday, Sunday. Nope. So he has not pitched 3 days in a row this entire season. And I don't know if they want to. So if it's not Diaz, you wonder who gets the 9th inning for the Mets. Who's that in the bullpen now? It looks like Reed Garrett is warming up for the Mets in the bullpen here. Okay, so it looks like Reed Garrett's going to get the top of the 9th inning for the Mets as they have a 3-1 lead right now in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Reed Garrett will be in line to pitch the 9th inning and get the save. Let's see. It's a good thing for the Mets because Kranick got through the heart of the lineup in the top of the 8th inning. So leading off in the top of the 9th inning will be Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, and Andy Pages. That is due up for the Dodgers in the top of the 9th inning, and Reed Garrett in the bullpen for the New York Mets as they have a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. And we have a bunch of day games across Major League Baseball. I love it. I love holiday day baseball. I wish every game was during the day tomorrow. I mean, we do have a couple of night games, especially West Coast night games, but there's just something about holidays and summer holidays, especially whether it's Memorial Day or 4th of July, and you love to see these day games across baseball. And it's an interesting schedule, which includes a potential Sunday night fade. Now, what is the Sunday night fade? Well, if you've been following along, you know that we bet against the teams that play on Sunday Night Baseball and then travel to play a game on Monday. And so far this season, it has worked out very, very nicely. As fading those teams, it is 6-1, or it might be 7-1 actually. I got to look it up to see what the exact numbers are. The only time the Sunday night fade did not work out for us was with the Dodgers. The Dodgers played a Sunday night game against the Braves in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and then traveled to Miami to play a game on Monday. And the Dodgers were heavily favored against the Marlins, and they won that game. That's the only team this year that has won a game in the Sunday night fade roll. And guess what? The Dodgers are once again in the Sunday night fade roll tomorrow. Dodgers will be in Cleveland to take on the Guardians. Yamamoto is the scheduled pitcher for the Dodgers. Gavin Williams is scheduled to go for Cleveland. And the Dodgers are a heavy favorite right now. Early line has them at minus 185. So think about this turnaround. Right now it is, and this game being a quick game actually benefits the Dodgers because this is a fast-paced moving game. It's 9:35 Eastern time. By the time this game ends, you figure after 10, 11, they get out of the ballpark around midnight, and then straight to the tarmac on the flight, get to Cleveland. I mean, these guys are in bed at, 3 o'clock in the morning maybe? Assuming like no delays and things like that. So at 3, you're getting to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, then you got to wake up the next day, go to the ballpark, get ready for a game that's a 6 o'clock start Eastern time. So 3 a.m., sleep till like 10, get to the ballpark at noon, 6 hours before the game. Maybe you go a little bit later, but still, it's a quick turnaround. That's why we love fading at these Sunday night teams. Also, you're playing here nationally televised ESPN game, rematch of the National League Championship Series against the Mets, and then you got to go play the Guardians on like regional television the next day in Cleveland, of all places. No disrespect to Cleveland, but come on. So it's easy to see these teams have a letdown after playing on Sunday Night Baseball and then traveling the next day. I'm curious to see if this is going to be if I'm going to play the Sunday Night Fade. If I'm going to play the Sunday night fade. I want to quickly check the numbers. Let's see. The start time has to be late, so we have to go. I think it's 14:30. Let's see. We got to see if the Dodgers apply to this, but I don't know. Do I want to fade the Dodgers in Cleveland? I could take a look at it. But you're 6-1 this year playing this trend. And again, the only team that has beaten you has been this Dodgers team that won in Miami. But Mets lose to the Red Sox last week. You had the Phillies lose when they were in St. Louis, right? You had the Padres lose to the Tigers. The Cubs lost to the Padres. The Cardinals lost to the Pirates. The Braves lost to the Dodgers. The Sunday night fade has been profitable this year, except betting against the Dodgers. So we'll see if we want to pull the trigger on the Sunday night fade against these Dodgers when they play in Cleveland tomorrow night. Elsewhere on your schedule, just looking at some of the more intriguing pitching matchups coming up here on your Memorial Day baseball. Garrett Crochet goes for the Red Sox in Milwaukee against the Brewers. The Red Sox, who lost the last 2 games of their series against the Orioles and really didn't score any runs. Without Alex Bregman in the lineup, they really struggled to find some offense as they scored just 2 runs in the last 2 games combined, despite out-hitting their opponents in the Orioles last night or today during the day. Despite out-hitting them, they still lose that game by a score of 5-1, and that 1 run came in the bottom of the 9th inning. So it was like, they got one. They were getting shut out the whole game. Just embarrassing. Elsewhere, as far as big-name pitchers that are on the mound, Jacob deGrom's pitching for the Rangers at home against the Blue Jays. Kevin Gausman goes for the Blue Jays. Rangers are minus 165. Jacob deGrom this year, 4-1 with a 2.33 ERA, and he is surging. His last start against the Yankees goes 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, allows 2 runs. Prior to that against Houston, he went 8 shutout innings. Against Detroit, 5 innings, 2 runs allowed, 10 strikeouts. He had one, start against Seattle a couple of weeks ago, but Jacob deGrom has been on a tear right now. And, I got to be honest, I talked about him at north of 10-1 to win the American League Cy Young Award after watching what Tarek Skubal did here on Sunday. It's hard to bet against Tarek Skubal as going back-to-back being the Cy Young Award winner because he was incredible for the Tigers early on Sunday morning. Right now, Skubal is an even money favorite to be the American League Cy Young Award. But Jacob deGrom's at 13-1. There are worse bets to be made than a 13-1 bet on a guy like Jacob deGrom, who, as I mentioned, is just absolutely surging right now. And the Rangers just can't score, which is the only problem. I would love to bet on the Rangers in this game against the Blue Jays, but you might just have to bet the under because the Rangers' offense is pathetic. A smarter bets start with VSiN Pro, and now is the time to join through May 31st. Lock in 14 months for just $199. 2 extra months for free when you use promo code PRO at checkout. That's right. Less than 50 cents a day, you get a daily email with all the best bets from the hosts and their guests, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 live video access and replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus full access to VSiN.com's analytics, trends, and expert breakdowns, and you get the 2025-26 NFL betting guide this summer. It's a limited time offer, ends May 31st. Don't miss out. Go to vsin.com/subscribe. Use promo code PRO. That's vsin.com/subscribe. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Aaron Nesmith being helped off the floor as he rolled his ankle, limping to the locker room. There's about 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Pacers and Knicks pretty even here in this third quarter. Pacers lead 71-57. And taking a look at your live markets right now, Pacers still 10.5-point favorites where it was right when we started this third quarter, and the total 212.5. Again, right where we were when we started this third quarter. So 212.5, 10.5, and 72-57, the Pacers leading the Knicks. Meanwhile, the Dodgers looked threatening here in the top of the ninth inning. They have a runner on with 2 outs against the New York Mets. Reed Garrett is in to close the game for the Mets, with Edwin Diaz being unavailable, having pitched the last 2 nights. Teoscar Hernandez struck out to lead off the top of the ninth inning. Max Muncy then singled, and Andy Pages grounded into a fielder's choice. So Michael Conforto is up right now with Muncy stealing second base. So Dodgers down 3-1. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth inning, as the Mets will look to close this game out and take 2 of 3 from the Los Angeles Dodgers after losing the first game of this series, a wild game, in fact. That was the 13-inning loss, 7-5. Mets bounced back with a 5-2 win yesterday and have just wrapped up a 3-1 win over the Dodgers. So cash your under, cash your Mets money line, cash your Mets run line. And for those who played the little double result with us here on the show, we were on the Mets first 5, Mets full game. So the double result does come through, with the Mets winning after 5 innings and coming away with a 3-1 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And, you know, with the looking at the National League East now, because the Phillies lost to the A's, so the Mets actually pick up a game on Philadelphia, as they are going to be 1.5 back now of the Phillies. And remember, there was a time we talked about betting the Phillies. We did get the Phillies at plus 170. Then you get the Mets again at plus 170. Well, those odds are going to fluctuate every single day now. And you look at the Mets schedule, it does open up over the next couple of days here, the next week or so. Schedule does get better. The Mets have 3 games against the White Sox at home. And then after they take on the White Sox for these 3 games, the Mets will welcome in the Rockies for 3 games before heading out to L.A. to take on the Dodgers for a 4-game set, and then the Rockies for 3 games after that. So these next 6 games at home for the Mets, honestly, no excuse to not take 5 out of 6. You could win all 6 of these games. And if the Mets win these 6 games, it's a nice little 8-game win streak for them. They put themselves right back in the conversation with the top teams here in the National League. And that's where we're at right now. This is about to be a good stretch of games, a good opportunity to maybe take the Mets on a number that you're not going to see anymore. Right now, FanDuel's got the Mets at plus 160 to win the division. And again, this is what, like we talked about last week, when you can just diversify your portfolio. You grab the Phillies at plus 170, take the Mets now at plus 160, and you got both of these top teams that are going to battle it out. You got a plus money price on both of them. So I would listen, the Mets plus 160, that's going to go away real fast, because I don't think this market has adjusted after this win. But even at plus 150, if it drops down, which I would imagine it doesn't, these odds don't take into consideration the schedule coming up. So bet it now. Bet the Mets right now at plus 160 to win the National League East. This schedule opens up for them now. And as I mentioned, 3 games against the White Sox, 3 games against the Rockies. Yes, tough stretch of games in LA against the Dodgers, but then they get 3 more against the Rockies. By the time this week's over, when the Mets head out next Sunday or next Sunday night after the Rockies series, and the Mets travel next Monday to take on the Dodgers, they're going to be the favorites in the National League East. And speaking of those Phillies, who lose to the A's here, which snaps their winning streak after they rolled off, 8 straight or 9 straight wins? Well, they now have to go and play Atlanta for 3 games, a healthy Atlanta team, then Milwaukee for 3 games, then a road trip to Toronto and Pittsburgh. The schedule it's manageable, but it's not as easy as the Mets. So I can see the Mets picking up some games right now on the Phillies. Take a look at the Mets right now. Again, plus 160 up on FanDuel, as this market will adjust over the course of the next couple of days, especially if the Mets do what they can do, which is, I say 5 of 6 at minimum over against the Rockies and the White Sox, but I could see the Mets winning all 6 games. then we're talking about a Mets team going to LA for next Monday night on an 8-game winning streak and the favorites in the National League East. This is why, like, I don't know how many people talk about it, but you got to look at the schedules when you look at these future bets. Something also to keep an eye on, and you could look at this in the win market bets here once they, when they reopen up. But I would go a live win bet under on the Tampa Bay Rays right now. And the last I saw, it was at 77.5, I think. And the Rays, who have won now, 5 straight games? They're in second place in the American League East. I mean, that's great. Rays are rolling right now. They beat the Blue Jays 13-0 here today. But look at the schedule. Tampa Bay has played the most home games already in Major League Baseball. The most home games in baseball. Because they now play at Steinbrenner Field outdoors in Tampa because they don't play at the Trop anymore. And so Major League Baseball and the Rays front-loaded their schedule with home games early in the year because they want to avoid playing in the summer in the heat in Tampa outdoors. No one wants to play in the 105-degree weather, the muggy weather in Tampa. No. So they front-loaded the schedule. You get all these home games early in the year when the weather's cool and it's nice. And so the Rays face an interesting dynamic in their schedule where they will go on the road, and in the second half of the season, they have the majority of their games will be on the road. There's going to be a stretch where it's like 50 out of 70 are going to be on the road for them. And so that's a team I want to fade, especially in a year, as we've seen, where the home teams have dominated this year. I mean, the Rays, their home games, it's let me see, I have the number here. It's going to be, of their final games down the season, let's see, it is 59 of their final 97 games. 59 of their final 97 games will be on the road. That's 2 out of every 3 games are on the road for them at the end of the year. This is a team I want to fade for the rest of the year, having to play all these road games. So great, because this could be the time. Like, you wait for them to go on a run here, and then you take a live total to go under. So we wait to see them go on a run. We're seeing them go on a run here. They've won 5 straight games, right? They've pulled them. They're in second place now in the American League East. Now's the time. The number gets a little bit inflated because they've won 5 straight games. Now's going to be the time to buy in on a live under on the Tampa Bay Rays win total. I'm Scott Seidenberg. You can hit me up on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, ScottsOnair. Third quarter is winding down here in Indy with the Knicks and the Pacers, Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. There's about 2 and change left, 2:40 left, and the Pacers leading 78-63 over the Knicks. So we haven't gotten the high-scoring third quarter that I certainly was hoping that we have gotten. We'll see what happens here in these final 2 minutes. But a 20-18 lead for the Pacers in this third quarter, as your live line right now is Pacers minus 11.5, and your live total, which was at 212.5, that was the number that we played over. It is now down to 207.5 as both teams continue to miss shots. As we thought that I certainly thought that the shooting would pick up. Pacers 4 of 17 from three-point range. Knicks 7 of 24 from three-point range, as both these teams just can't hit a shot. Knicks shooting a little bit better, 41%. Pacers are shooting 50%, but the three-point shooting really abysmal. Pacers 18 of 22 from the free throw line, though. How about that? Knicks 10 of 12. And we'll see how these final 2 minutes of this quarter shapes out. Maybe it sets up for an interesting fourth quarter. We hope. Hey, the NBA playoffs are heating up. VSiN's breaking it all down. From series odds to matchup breakdowns, you're going to find more of our NBA playoff coverage right now on the VSiN Watch app. I'm Scott Seidenberg, always on Twitter at Scott's On Air. You can hit us up on the network at VSiN Live. More Knicks Pacers live betting numbers coming up next. Plus, we'll talk Stanley Cup playoffs as well. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.